Hey guys, Kenny here. Well, it's the end of the season. It's March, what is it, 5th today? And you can see the marigolds and the Vinca and the Nasturtiums. They're all dying off. We've had a few frosts, even the mums, they're starting to die down. But one thing I'm going to try this year is I'm going to try and propagate seeds from these flowers, because I spend a little bit of money on the flowers. The Nasturtium is just seed, all right? I just did the seed. But the marigolds and the Vinca, I did plants, and they really thrived, and I was told it's very easy to propagate them from seed. So I just wanted to show you how I gathered the seed, because I didn't know how this was done. So on a Vinca plant, okay, you'll notice the seed buds. See these long things? These are seed buds. And ultimately you'd like to take them when they're brown, when they're starting to turn brown. You can't take them when they're a little green, but better to take them when they're turning brown. Okay, and I'll show you what they look like in the different colors. All right, you can see here, ultimately you'd like to take them when they're like this, when they're in the brown condition. Okay, and what you do is, even if you keep them here, keep them in the sunlight, whatever, see all these little seeds? Those come out of these when they're mature. You actually go like that, you twist them, and you see the seeds dropping. All right, and that's how you get the seeds out. So you let them dry, and once they dry, they'll open. The Vinca will open like that, and you get all these little delicious seeds. Now those seeds, I mean, you're probably talking $3, $4, $5, $6 worth of seeds there, and by the time these are all done, that's a lot of seeds. So I'm going to try propagating those. Now the Nasturtiums, on the other hand, is a little different. I've never grown them before. My friend Bruce's shop, he's telling me that after the frost, they'll start dropping them, meaning the seed pods, and you got to pick them up. And I see seed pods like here. You see a triple seed pod, but it's still green, it's not brown. And you can look on the wall here, and you can find pods that have turned brown and dropped. All right, and you can see, I could reach in there, and here's one that's already matured, and it's brown. So what I did was I picked a bunch of them, okay, that were either fallen on the ground or not fully ripe, all right? But basically, here's the nasturtium seed that comes out of that pod when it's dried up, all right? So what I'm going to do with those nasturtiums, and you can see here, right at the tip of the flower is where the pod grows. Here you go, here's one here. Right where the flower was, the pod grows. Now I could leave these on, I'm hoping, oh, see it just broke apart into three different pods. So I'm gonna keep them in there. I'm gonna leave them out. Today's a beautiful day, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna leave these out today, and then I'll put them in a warm, dry place in the basement, and hopefully you get all these pods turning into these nice brown seeds. And when I bought the nasturtium in the spring, they were all these brown, they look like chickpeas almost, right? These little brown seeds. And that's what's gonna come out of these once these all ripen up and turn brown. So that many seeds, that's about $10 worth of seeds if you're in the seed store, okay, at Home Depot or wherever. So I'm gonna wait a couple more days. It's gonna be a little chillier, and hopefully these nasturtiums will turn, and I'll pick as many of these as I can. And Bruce is even saying too, if you take a piece of newspaper and you shake these things out, you'll see all these pods falling. And I tell you, that's money. So I'm gonna try it. Now, the third one, my marigolds. I love marigolds, okay? They're pest resistant and all that. And I wait until they turn, dark brown and just pop right off. And marigolds are easy. I've grown marigolds before, but I'm just lazy. Sometimes I'll go to the gardening center and just buy plants. But with marigolds, basically, once they're fully dried up, you can just take the seed pod, go like that with your fingers, and look at all the seeds. There's all your seeds, okay? Tons of seeds. So with the marigolds, I'll pick a bunch. Like I said, I got 3 trays, put them in a nice, dry, cool place in the basement, and well, warm and dry actually, and just let them age. And after a few weeks, when I'm sure they're pretty all dried out, and these are all dried up and everything, and these are all dried up, I'll put them in someone said put them in a Ziploc bag. I don't know, another person told me to put them in an envelope, like a paper envelope, so it can breathe. So anybody out there who's an expert on this thing, should I put them in a Ziploc bag where there's like no air? Or should I put them in a paper envelope where there is air and just keep them in a very dark, dry place? So, all right, that's it. I'm gonna try nasturtiums, marigolds, and vinca, and we're gonna see what happens next winter, or this coming winter, I should say. Probably March or so, I'll put them into potting, soilless potting mix, and we'll see if I can grow my own and save myself some money. But right now, like I said, this year, oh boy, did they grow. They grew beautiful, and they spread, and it was weird. You know, we didn't have a lot of rain in the beginning of the summer, then all of a sudden we got a ton of rain. And I'll be honest, I think I fertilized these once. Someone said the vinca, very low maintenance, just good sunshine. Marigolds are hardy anywhere. And the nasturtiums, I watered every day, twice a day, until they started coming up 3-4 inches, and then they basically worked their way over to the wall, and they worked their way down the wall. So, all right, that's it for now. Like I said, anyone who's got any more tips on vinca, marigold, or nasturtium, let me know. I'm just curious as to whether I should put them into plastic bags or whether I should put them into an envelope. We got some daisies down here my wife had hanging up, and I don't know, I'm assuming those are the seeds for these daisies. I'll pull some of those too, and maybe we can see if we can grow some of those next year. They were a beautiful, almost like a Gerber daisy, like a brown, orange color daisy. We'll try those. All right, like I said, I'm no gardener by any means. I do like gardening, but in this case, you know, we'll see what we can do. This little pine tree here, we grew that from a Dixie cup. They were giving them away at Earth Day at work about 6-7 years ago, and the thing was literally 4 inches tall, growing in a paper Dixie cup. It's growing pretty good. So I think I may transplant that at my daughter's house. She needs some trees in her yard. All right, like I said, Ken's Small Engines. Today we're talking gardening, but see what happens. All right, guys, we will talk to you soon.